Rising, everybody. I just wanted to jump on here and do some live processing. Welcome to Naomi Talks. If you're new here, my name is Naomi. And if you're not new here, welcome back. It is a bit of a heavy morning for me. For some reason, I'm doing all of my spiritual routines this morning, and there's just a little bit of heaviness sitting in my gut, and I'm trying to work through that and figure out how I'm feeling about things. There are a couple of special people in my energy field. Special people to me. One I haven't spent time with in a while, and I've been anxious to spend time with him, but his schedule has been extremely busy, so I haven't been able to see him. And the other, I hadn't seen him in a while as well. But I got a chance to see him over the weekend. And so that was pleasant. It was a really interesting energy exchange. And I think I find myself processing that today. But there are a couple of Reiki sessions that I do regularly to align my chakras, to activate them, to cleanse them, reset them. And there is another Reiki session that I do that unties trauma, and in my case, sexual trauma. Yeah, it's crazy to me how things can be in your energy field for so long. I feel like there are things that happen in my childhood that I should be over by now. And I feel like there are moments and seasons in my life that I did operate in healing energy from those traumas, from those traumatic events. And so whenever it comes back up, it's always a little confusing for me, because I'll just be thinking, dang, didn't I get over this? Not only didn't I get over it, but I've been thriving, thriving and feeling that healing power, feeling the advancement, feeling the forgiveness, feeling the self-love, cover those places like a warmed up salvie butter. So on mornings like today, it is again like, why am I thinking about this? So one of the things that I do want to do is journal about it. I'm also going to check out my birth chart as it relates to the season that we're in now that we are in Gemini season. And now that we've just come out of that Gemini new moon, there are other transits at work. Like, I believe that Venus moved into Cancer last week. I believe that Jupiter was in Cancer for the past couple of months, And now Venus will just be moving closer and closer and closer to Jupiter in the same planet, you know, because Jupiter's on its way out. Not the same planet, the same zodiac sign. Jupiter's on its way out of Cancer. Venus is on its way in. They won't collide, but they both are there for a time being. And I'm not exactly sure what other transits are going on right now. I think that there is some significance to Pluto, and it may be significant to the 5th house for me, for my chart. I think it may be significant for most people in the 8th house, but I think Pluto in my birth chart is in the 5th house. So I need to look at some things and just kind of map out what could be going on, just as a tool to help me get on a bird's eye signet. You know what I mean? Like get up in bird's eye view. Because I'm absolutely too zoomed in the moment. And what that means is that I am finding myself, you know, on the spectrum of emotions that are down in the dumps, down on vibration, down in despair, you know, and depression and sadness. And I am one who understands that I can climb the emotional spectrum. I can climb from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I know that that's possible, and I know that that's what I want to do. I want to get there. I also just be thinking that while I'm down here in the shadow, what is it that wants to come with me to the light? You know, I don't want to just leave. And there's a part of me, there's a voice, there's a, you know, a part of the 8-year-old girl. Or this audio is a continuation of video that I was recording, and I have run out of storage on my phone, so it won't let me record any more video. So I'm going to record it audio wise. My first thought was very synonymous with this low vibrational thinking that I'm on right now, which fucking sucks. My first thought was, see, everything is fucking going wrong. Like, why in the fuck would my phone lose storage right in the middle I was getting? I was really getting to it. I was really getting to what I wanted to say. I could feel the momentum growing, I guess, is what I would describe it as. I could feel the momentum, and then boom. But that doesn't mean there's no force in the universe trying to throw me a sign saying, don't do it, don't do it. Like, no, there is no in the universe. There is no assertion. There's only the law of attraction as it relates to my experiences. Like is drawn to like. So if anything, there's a reflection of my energy, of my vibration right now that is in resistance of who I really am. Having said that, I can feel, you know, some things loosening up now. But one of the things that I was pointing out before my video died was, you know, when I'm down here on this spectrum, on the lower end of the vibrational, you know, spectrum, and I know that I can work my way up the emotional ladder to higher vibrational thinking and feeling and emoting. sometimes I just be thinking, let me sit with this, because I don't want to leave someone behind. I don't want to leave a part of me behind in the darkness, in the void, if they're not meant to be, if there's a part of me that needs to integrate before, we move away from this topic, then I would like to do that. And lately I've been listening to Abraham Hicks, and she talks about how fascinated the human race is with figuring all that kind of stuff out. And that we don't really need to, that we can just choose to feel better and choose to focus on what makes us feel better, choose to focus on the next best feeling thought, better feeling thought, and just climbing that emotional ladder to a higher, vibration, to a more aligned with higher being position, to be a part of the grid filling in, of your emotional field, be a part of that process by getting in alignment with who you really are, the facts of who you are, the embodying of who you are, knowing that I am little g, that I am an extension of source, creative source, an extension of source, an extension of, the spiritual collective, the all-knowing, the omnipresent. I mean, that is quite massive that I am, it's quite impressive that I am. And when I get stuck, it's only because I'm believing about something else, believing that I'm not who I am. And it's no wonder that it's discomforting and saddening and confusing and depressing to be aligned, to be in full alignment with I am not, rather than being in alignment with I am. I am feels so much better. First of all, it's true, and truth is so freeing. Freedom feels a ton better than bondage does. And when I think about being that little girl that was just waiting for mom and dad to come back home, when I think about her, she isn't aware of who she is. She's stuck in the notion that her freedom is governed by someone else who can't even protect her from harm, someone else who can't even notice that she's afraid to be alone, someone else that isn't even powerful enough to see that she is terrified and needs help. It's a very helpless mind frame to be in, to believe that you are not who you are. It just trickles and fills up a vat of unworthiness. You feel satiated with that unworthiness. You feel satiated with that despair and I don't deserve. That's why it feels so bad. And rather than make a home here, rather than make a home in the despair, rather than, dress it up and put lipstick on the pig, rather than use all of my energy to curate a world that is satisfactory enough to exist in this waiting for someone to come and rescue me. I would rather adjust my mindset and remember who I am. I would rather adjust the dial of my broadcasting and try to turn that dial ever so gently and keep on letting it niche to the next station until something comes in clear, until a clear message comes in, a message that is so clarifying that I have no other recourse but to say, I am worthy. I am deserving. I am powerful. I do have everything I need to get up off of this couch right now and walk out of this unsafe place. I'm not that 8-year-old girl who had to stay in a home. Whether parents were there or not, I had to stay there because I was only 8 years old. Where was I going to go? What was I supposed to do? There was safety there. There was food there. There was warmth there. There was a type of love. There was a type of attention. But that is not my life right now in this very moment. I am free. I am so free that I could choose that bondage place if I wanted to. Nobody's going to stop me. No one's going to stop me from creating a prison in my mind. That's how free I am. And if I am that free, if that level of freedom is my portion, and it is, then why not use that freedom to create a space that isn't encumbered? Why not renew my mind so that I line up with the ability to flap my wings and fly? The ability to dream and dream big. The ability to play and imagine and be lighthearted and full of joy. These are options. These are very real options. They are very real options. I just have to pick one. It's the Seven of Cups energy. There are so many options here for you. You just need to pick one. Which one will you pick? Which one will you pick? Which one will you pick? And these tears are just, I know that there is a cleansing that has been needing to happen in relationship to all of this. And so these are just cleansing tears, but part of what is frustrating to me is I want so badly to pick the cup, to choose the cup that I want. I don't want to just choose any old cup just because it seems like it's the one that's closest, or it seems like that's the one that my eye first drew on, so shouldn't I go with what I first thought? Or this cup has manuals with it, so it's going to be easier if I just follow the rules that are written here. I don't want to just pick a cup at random. I want to pick the cup that I really am drawn to, and I want to
I don't want to have so much gunk and fog in the way to where it feels like I'm just reaching into nothingness and just reaching down into the bag, and whichever cup I pull out, that's the one that I'll get. And I just need to be satisfied and happy with it. That feels like the energy that I'm in right now. That this waiting energy is just like a helpless energy. I don't have a choice energy. Someone else is going to choose for me energy. Or my only choice is to reach into a dark bag that is going to be random. Whatever I pull out, I'll just have to be happy with. And as of yet, I have not had an opportunity to sit with spirit on this to get a different revelation. That's kind of why I'm processing it out loud and in live with you. I only post these kinds of things because I think it's important for the human race to see each other in all of our phases, so that we can know in a huge way, in a tangible way, in a very present way, that we're not alone in our experiences. And that we're not doomed. Like the Hulk, we're not doomed to walk the earth alone. That is not our story. Never alone. And we have options. We have options. Depression is just but a release to feel angry. You're just a step away from release. Because to feel angry about something feels better than to feel completely hopeless and completely despairing. So move into anger. That's a notch up on the emotional ladder. It's a step away from the depression. So if we want to keep moving and that's the next step, then step into it. Step into anger. The relief that you feel is only to be measured by you and your experience. But for whatever reason, you may need permission to be angry. Because we're taught not to be angry. We're taught to just appease the people around us. We even do it. We even expect for people to appease us. We expect for external circumstances to make us feel better. And can't you see the trap in that? That no one else can really ever make you feel how you really want to feel. Don't you see that? Don't you feel like how empty it is when you look to someone to give you the thing? When you look for fulfillment, when you look for relief, when you look for acknowledgement, when you want to be chosen, when you're hoping that someone will see you, that someone will remember you. And how empty it is when someone does the best that they can, but their best isn't enough. Don't you know that that's not because their best isn't enough? Don't you know that it's because they cannot fulfill you? They can't feel you. Mel Robbins says, no one is coming. No one is coming to rescue you. And I know that sounds so harsh,
But it's a wake-up call to let you know that people want to. Oh yeah. People want to rescue you, but no one can. There is no law that governs, that allows for that. It just isn't so. It just doesn't exist. That's not how it works. And to be honest, when you chose to come forth into this physical plane, into this earth plane, to this human meat suit, into this time-space continuum experience, you understood that. You looked forward to it. Your agenda counted on that. Your mission and the point stood on that fact that you would be the ace, that you would be in charge, that you would affect every moment, that you would step and create your own journey and path. I absolutely used to just adore watching my children. Just watching them, whatever they was doing, the way they would interact with each other, how they would interact with their toys, the way they would play and imagine, the conversations with themselves and with other humans, the way they would focus or tantrum or celebrate or cry, the way they would watch a television program and you could see their little brains absorbing like sponges information, stimuli, data. I used to just love watching them, because they were not yet introduced to societal norms. A societal norm was nowhere in their energetic field. Nowhere. Not until it was hammered into them by an adult. But before that, just pure, unadulterated essence of a spiritual being playing out in this matrix as a human. And one of my sons was really into blocks and would just build, right? And his little brother would come along, whatever he was building. It could be, he could be building something or just playing with something or just minding his own business. But his little brother would come and interrupt the situation. And TJ would have a fit, my older son. He would just have a fit. The audacity of an external factor to come in and disturb what I am creating. That visceral reaction to external circumstances, external stimuli. When I think back to that visceral reaction is a great analogy and diagram to look at and be like, yeah, my original state had no patience or tolerance for external stimuli. Like, why are you here? My older son's visceral reaction, whether it was to come run and tattle, whether it was to come and run for help, like, Mom, do something, whether it was to throw a tantrum and to yell, it was a visceral reaction, because the idea in his mind was like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not how the world is supposed to work. In this time-space continuum, external circumstances come in and disrupt what I've got going on. That feels misaligned. That don't feel like what is supposed to be happening. It's not indicative of the truth. What the hell is going on? And I look back at that now in this moment and I say, absolutely right. Absolutely right, bud. And so guess what? Why should I give my attention anymore to external stimuli in the way that gives my power away? I'm not saying ignore every external factor. I'm not saying put your head in the sand and pretend. I'm saying don't give your power away. Having a reaction, my son throwing a temper tantrum or running, Mom, come and get him. Having a reaction is just a signifier that says, I acknowledge that something isn't as it should be. It's just an acknowledgement. A reaction is just an acknowledgement. I don't have to get stuck there. I don't have to get stuck in the, this isn't as it should be. Because as soon as I start giving momentum to anything, law of attraction is going to bring more like it. It's just the way it is. Law of attraction is just going to match my energy, baby. Just gonna match it. And bring me more of it. Well, I don't want more stimuli that is more embodied than I am. I don't want more of that. I want more embodiment. Reacting to stimuli, sure, but more of my essence. I want to be full of me, more full of me. So when somebody comes in and knocks over Legos that I've been building for the past 3 hours, and you just in 1 second knock all of my Legos into a nothing, just crumbled pieces now. What was a whole city. Ooh, my one son had this coolest Lego set. I said that in past tense. I believe he still has it. It was Thor's glove. And when he finally put it together, all the little bitty, there were so many little tiny pieces. But it all came together to make this life-size glove. Iron Man. Was it Iron Man? No, I believe it was, what was his name? What's the villain's name? The one who had all of the gems on each finger. Because did I say Thor at first? I didn't mean to say Thor. I don't know what I said. When I listen back, I'll be like, oh, Lord. Dang, what is his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The purple guy. Thanos. Is that his name? Thanos. Anyway, I believe that in my mind, I want to remember it as Thanos, but I think that his Lego set was actually the Iron Man apparatus, just the hand up to the elbow. Anyway, he finally put it together and it was so cool because the parts, the fingers move. Each digit can move, you know. It's so cool. But all of it before were just little bitty puzzle pieces. Somebody comes along and can take a bat or their hand and just smash it back into those little bitty pieces again. That's extremely frustrating. I can only imagine. And as a child who doesn't have the, emotional intelligence yet to sort of, integrate some tools for managing, it's just the natural and raw emotional state, which we all should be in, to be honest. We all should be allowing just our natural emotional body to be our guidance, to help us along this way. Just screaming, throwing a tantrum, running, coming straight into the kitchen where mom is. I can't believe this has happened. My life is over. I'm despairing. What the fuck, right? And what am I supposed to do now? And the Legos are everywhere. And it's going to take forever for me to pick them all up and collect them back up and then start over again and rebuild it again. And okay, so now we are just going to stay here. We had an activation of our emotional body. It has guided us to this place of something isn't as it should be. And rather than being embodied in our sovereignness and in our freedom, in our capacity and our ability, because if you built it once, you can build it again. The hell? What's the problem? Is it inconvenient? Yes. But does the inconvenience take away the ability that you had 3 hours ago to put this together? Hell no. No. But you acting like it though. You acting like it. Watch your language. Like, how many times do you even say, I can't do something? You can't do something that you did maybe 2-3 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. Something similar. Something that required strength and girth and focus, and you managed it. But now all of a sudden, what has changed? What happened? You believe that you are not who you are. That's the only thing that changed, because if you were who you were 10 years ago, you would be able to just still do that thing again. You did it once, you could do it again. So you must believe that you aren't that person anymore. Then who are you then? Do you see how that has nothing to do with the person who came in and smashed your Legos? You can make it be about them. But that's the same thing as saying that you don't have the ability or the capacity to bend down, gather up all of those Legos, put them in a box, organize everything again, start all over again, rebuild it. That's giving power externally to you. That's leaning into an external power rather than an internal one. An external power says, this is blown to shit. All these pieces are all over the room. Internal says, this has been blown to shit. All these pieces are all over the room. And if I calculate my time correctly, I have enough time before dinner actually to go ahead and pick up all these pieces and get started rebuilding again. An external based stimuli driven mind says, oh my God, I have to pick all these up and start this over again. And now I'm starting it over again. And oh my God, dinner is coming up. And oh my God, I can't do it. And oh my God, this is so stupid. And oh my God, I can't believe that I have to put this together again. And oh my God, never mind. I don't even want to do it no more. And an embodied internal power, I know who I am and I know what I can do. And I love that I can do all things. Says, let me put this stuff together real quick. How do I want to do it? Do I want to do it right now, or do I want to play something else since dinner is almost going to get started? No, I do want to start. I'm going to start on it, and then I'm going to finish it tomorrow. But I want to get started on it right now. And while you're getting started on it, you notice that you're moving faster because, ooh, you did this part. And when you were doing this part last time, this was the easy part. The shaft that was right here by the elbow before you got to the intricacies of the wrist and the fingers, that's when it was hard. But this part goes by really fast. Look how fast and quick you're doing this. Oh my goodness, hold on a minute. I want to actually turn on some music while I'm playing, while I'm putting these back together real quick. And now all of a sudden you're in there humming and doing a little shoulder jig while you're putting your pieces back together. Embodied, internal embodiment. That's the difference between being on the emotional spectrum of despair, woe is me, pity, versus walking up that emotional scale, getting pissed that it happened. So now, okay, you ain't in self-pity no more, you pissed. And blame. My baby ran to come and tell me he's always messing with my stuff. And now look what he did. Okay. Well, are we going to keep moving or are we going to be stuck? Nope. We're going to keep on moving to the right next thing. So now we're not blaming anyone. Now we're thinking, okay, I'm pissed again. I don't want to have to put this back together. But then you start thinking, but I could put it back together. A little glimmer of something starts changing. I could put it back together again. Do I want to put it back together again right now, or do I want to move on to play something else and come back to this another time? Now you have options. Oh, this sounds a little bit like hope. And look how far up the emotional scale you've come. Just in that allowing for your emotional body to guide you right up to hope. And that not far from hope is joy. And not far from joy is bliss. And we wonder whether or not we can have a blissful life every single day. And the answer is yes, you can. It's all in you. It's all in you. Naomi Talks is a YouTube channel where I have allowed and carved out a part of the internet for myself that I can get on here and process in real time my emotional body and talk myself up the emotional scale. And if you're listening and this was encouraging to you, then that's absolutely wonderful, because I aim to encourage and I aim to motivate and I aim to inspire. But the way that I desire to inspire you or encourage you or motivate you is by being my radiant ass self first. So thank you for listening. You were allowed to eavesdrop on me talking myself through something that was really heavy for me 30 minutes ago. I don't have to be stuck in those memories of that 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. In those moments, because to be quite fucking honest, my entire childhood wasn't just these memories of sexual abuse. There was a whole lot of other shit that happened every single day and throughout the day. 24 hours in a day is a long ass amount of time. And I wasn't being sexually molested for 24 hours a day. Hell, to be honest, it probably, if I had to pick a day and pick a random ass time, and based on my current experience, it may have been 5 minutes. Who lasts in 24 hours? We gotta sleep, number one. So we going to bed for 10 of them hours. We eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So there go 3 hours right there. We watching TV. Oh, we watching TV. Okay. We watching TV. Mom and dad is gone. They were strict on our TV watching. Mom and dad is gone. Oh, we watching TV. There go another 4 hours. Hell, that's almost all damn day. Do you see what I'm saying? This predictor machine, our mind, is just part of the human experience. I am omnipresent. I am present in my mind. I'm present in my body. I am present in this human experience, but I am also present in my non-physical body. I am present in my connected sourceness. I am present in the extension of my being. I am present in who I am on all of these fronts. There is more to me than 24 hours. There is more to me than this perception of a 24-hour long abuse session. Abusive session. There is more to me than that. So how dare I get stuck? It doesn't have to be the only option. I can get out of resistance. I don't have to be stuck. I can get out of resistance and allow flow. Allow my emotional body to flow throughout all of my chakras, all the way down to the root system, all the way back up to the crown, and just overflow. You can too. You can do this. You already are doing it. But maybe let's bring a little bit more intention and focus and deliberate action to the system that's already working for you. Because that's just a call to level up. It's one thing to just have these hit or miss successes of embodying an emotional, opportunity to move out of despair and into joy. It's a whole level up to move away from the accidental occurrence of this system into a deliberate I choose to employ. I demand my emotional body to come forward, to come around this resistance. I command my mind to quiet in a way to where I can hear my non-physical being magnetizing me, motioning for me to come this way. Take a left, turn. Yes, now. Right, walk right around that, right around it. You don't have to step in that one. Come right around it. Being a deliberate creator of my reality. Oh, that's level up, baby. People out here talking about that they a bad bitch. Now that's bad bitch energy. Can you get with that? What kind of bad bitch you want to be? Okay? You want to be a bad bitch who has perfected the art of waiting on somebody to come and do shit for you? Who you perfected the art of deadening your emotional body so that you can be okay enough for somebody else to be always doing shit for you? You comfortable? You comfortable in that narcissistic skin? You're comfortable in forcing, unproductively and unsuccessfully, might I add, but forcing the situations around you to get in line in the way that you need it to be, to make you feel better. Everybody's got to say things just so that you feel good. Everybody's got to look a certain type of way so that you feel good. Everybody around you has to be a certain type of, you got to be quiet, and they need to speak up more, and she needs to shut completely up, and he needs to come over and call me more, and they need to, what? How's that going for you? All of that split energy. Sending your energy out into the ether, trying to control everybody else. When your saturated self is most successful when it's applied to your internal system, to you, to your own self. When you turn, Michael Jackson said it best, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. I can't change for you. I can't make you feel better. I want to. I wish I could. I spent a lot of years actually trying. And you know what that did for me? It left me high and dry. It left my inner child abandoned. It left me unversed in who I am. It made me spend so many years getting to know someone else that I don't know who I am. And is that what I want for myself? I have to get a little selfish here. I'm sorry. I have to get a little selfish here. Somebody's got to think about little old me. And it ain't you. You ain't thinking about me. You're thinking about how I can change so that you feel better. You're not thinking about what's best for me. Who's going to think about little old me? I said it earlier. No one. No one is coming to rescue me. Except me. I'm the only one who can. So excuse me while I be a little selfish, because I know that you are selfish too. So let's just be selfish together. It actually works. It actually works out that way if we both are selfish. And I'm talking about the real selfish, full of self. Not manipulative. Not looking at me and hoping and expecting, and in some cases demanding and manipulating until you think that everything that I'm doing is for you. That's not selfishness. Let's get a real handle on what selfish means. Being self-absorbed, being self-focused, being inner dependent as opposed to codependent, being full of yourself How many times were we taught growing up to be full of yourself is bad? No, it's not. There's no such thing as anything being bad, first of all. Second of all, how in the hell is it bad for me to be full of myself, full of my essence? Not half, not drips, drought. Myself is dry and crusty and droughted out. No, I want to be full to the brim, full and then overflowing, because whatever overflows will seep out into my community, out into my emotional grid, out into my reality. It'll fill in the rest of my life. I'm looking for my life to be filled in. I'm looking for the grid to be filled in. The coloring page of my life, the canvas of my life. I'm looking for the picture to come together. The jigsaw puzzle, I'm looking for it to come together into a full, beautiful, realized picture. So why would I spend my existence coming over to your table helping you put your jigsaw puzzle together? And then the bell rings and I have to walk out of classroom and look at my desk and my jigsaw puzzle is not even put together. I spent the whole class period helping you put yours together. So excuse me while I get a little comfortable with the idea of being self-absorbed. Okay? Because can't no one help me but me. So stop expecting me to not be self-absorbed, to not be focused on what I got going on, to not be filling myself up, to not be understanding myself more, getting to know myself more, filling myself up, giving myself my own orgasms, giving myself my own nutrients, giving myself my own spiritual lessons, giving myself my own direction, following the beat of my own drum, tooting my own motherfucking horn. You get to doing yours. And let's be selfish together. That's where happiness is. A baby that has had enough to eat and just breaks off of the mama's tit and milk just comes sliding down the relaxed lips. Those lips once were so puckered and the tongue was so tense, pulling on that, making that suction action happen. Pulling until that tummy finally sent the message back to the brain saying, we full now. Unlatches from the nipple and lips, mouth just relaxed. Eyes rolling back in the head. Happy as fuck. Content than a motherfucker. Motherfucking satisfied, satiated. Gonna burp soon. Big old burp. Just nasty. Just stomach fat. Hands flopped all out. Barely conscious. So satiated and satisfied. Selfish enough to put focus on that sucking mechanism. A natural reflex that had to be learned and acquired. Baby didn't come here knowing how to suck. Some babies did. Some babies would be sucking in the womb. Remember, that's why we think it's so cute. Look in the ultrasound, you can see the baby sucking their thumb already. Because sometimes babies have to learn the sucking motion. The sucking motion is a natural reflex, but they have to learn how to latch. They have to adjust to this world where now nutrients come from somewhere outside of me. I have to learn how to latch. And how do I learn how to latch? I focus on me. I focus on my lips. I focus on my tongue. I focus on finding my rhythm with this titty. I focus on crying and getting a lot of good air in my lungs so I can scream as loud as I can fucking possibly scream so that somebody will know that I'm hungry. Selfish. Self-absorbed. I'm hungry. Fuck you. I'm hungry. And on the other end of that fuck you, I'm hungry is satisfaction, bliss, eyes rolling in the back of your head, bliss. Yeah, sign me up. I'll take one of those orders. Yep, 30 milligrams of selfishness, please. Thank you. Do I get a refill on this? Oh, endless refills? Bet. Okay, so this is a 30-day supply. I bet you I won't forget to fill this motherfucker. 30 milligrams of selfishness. Take one a day as needed. Come be selfish with me.